yours. Which side are you on? This is the Daily Dozen, presented by Champions Round.
Welcome to the Daily Dozen. My name is Jason Gold. As always, joined by Stephie Smallls. Steph, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. We haven't done a show since Friday. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy that we're back. It was a long weekend, but nice holiday to take off. I'm ready to get into it.
All right, so we have MLB team props today. I'll run through the schedule for Daily Dozen for the rest of the week. As always, you have until 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern to make your picks every day. So today we have MLB player props. Tomorrow we're going to do Stanley Cup Finals Game 4. Thursday we're going to go really early in the morning because your boy has to travel. So we're going to do NBA team props or player props for the NBA draft. Friday, Steph is going to take over the wheel. And we're going to do golf props for the Travelers Championship, which will be awesome. We test drove that over the weekend for the U.S. Open on Sunday for Daily Dozen, and it went awesome. So we'll be providing that to you more along the way. And the last thing is Big Board Showdown. You have until Thursday, whenever the draft kicks off, I think 4 or 5 p.m. Pacific, to enter. And I just entered my first one. The product looks absolutely amazing. I'm thrilled with it. So draft as much as possible. We're going to have some sick giveaways that we will announce later today. We'll have some draft content. I have a gambling show tomorrow with Dan Titus that we're going to give away all of the best NBA draft props that I've already bet. And yeah, that's it for the rest of the week. I know that Steph also has a Smalls Talks Balls tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Ravens. We're looking forward to that. That series is going to get back cooking because we can finally see the finish line towards the NFL season. Fantasy drafts are starting, so a great time despite the fact that there are not a whole lot of sports on. We're going to have a ton of content for everybody. So,
and it's the first day of summer, so that's also very exciting for at least us over here where it's not always perfect weather.
It's starting to get warm out here. I need to start moving to a colder climate. The polar bear is not happy about 85 degrees. Start sweating looking outside. All right. Why don't we jump right into the MLB props for today? Again, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern to lock in your picks for the Daily Dozen on June 21st. First prop on the board, the Detroit Tigers and Boston Red Sox. Total runs in this game, 9.5.
I'm going to say this a lot today. I have the under on this one. Yesterday there was 7 with 19 total hits. Red Sox are averaging almost 5 a game and letting their opponent have 4. So I think that this gets to easily like 8, 9, 10. Then you're starting to lose me there.
All right. I am looking at Action Network right now I'm going to continue my theme with baseball bets, which is just going to follow the money here. Over 9.5, attracting 61% of the bets and 90% of the money. That is a plus 29. That means it's a smash over for me on this game. And we will move to prop number 2, which is Phillies Rangers. Total runs, 8.5. What are you thinking on this one, Steph?
I have the over in this one. Don't feel confident. We'll let you tell me where the money is going. This feels like one of those that the hook is going to get me. Phillies are averaging 4 runs over the past 3. And these first 2 games I don't feel great about. So
money-wise, 48% of the bets, 87% of the money, which is a plus 39, is attracting towards the under here. So it looks like the under 8.5 is a strong play in this game, as is the Rangers. The Rangers money line here, 38% of the bets, 62% of the money, plus 24. Coming in on the Rangers to beat the Phillies, minus 112 right now at BetMGM. So maybe a little Rangers and under parlay potentially in play here. That might be an interesting angle for a Tuesday morning. All right, Blue Jays, White Sox, total runs, 8.5, game in Chicago. No weather that I see right now, but what are you kind of leaning towards?
This one, leaning the under here. Don't feel super confident. Yesterday, Toronto lost 7-8. Went over yesterday. These 3 were my gut calls. We're going to stick with the under.
I like the under here too. 48% of the bets, 90% of the money is coming in on the under here. Looks like it has moved. You might be able to still get an 8.5 out there. I would bet it right now if you're going to. but plus 42% advantage money over bets here. So take the under in Blue Jays White Sox. All right, this is our Daily Dozen game of the day, new segment, Mets versus Astros. Our next 6 props will involve this game. So Mets versus Astros, total runs 9.5 to kick us off. Steph, which way are you thinking on this one?
Gosh. This is interesting because the Mets won yesterday, right? They beat the Marlins 6-0 yesterday, held Miami to no runs. My gut is that the Astros win this. I think this game can go under 9.5 easily. It might get close, though. I don't feel confident in seeing the trend of both of these teams. I am going to stick with the under.
So there is a little bit of value here on the under because of the way that Daily Dozen is played. We have to go to a half point because we can have no ties. This line in Vegas is listed at 9. So just based on that, we'll take the under 9.5. You have a half run advantage. Also, 53% of the bets and the money is coming in on the under. Again, that is not something that is probably worth betting in general, but for the purposes of this game, it only behooves us more to bet the under 9.5. So I will stick with that for this one. New York Mets total runs 4.5. I'm kind of with you here that I think the Astros will end up winning tonight. 40% of the bets, 45% of the money is coming in on the Astros at minus 129. That line has come down from minus 139. However, at plus 1.5, the run line, the Mets are minus 165. 60% of the bets and 99% of the money is coming in on the Mets at that plus 1.5. That's a plus 39. So I think what happens here is this is probably an Astros 1-run win. So how do we get there if we're betting the under 9.5? Sounds like it's probably like a 4-3 to me. So I think what I'm going to do personally is I'll take the under on the Mets at total runs 4.5. And then as we get to the next prop, total runs 4.5 for the Astros. I'm going to take the under on both and just take a swing on that. But I'll hop back to prop 5 and see what you think.
Yeah, I think I am with you on that. I think that the only thing that could happen here, if either of these teams ruins it, it's going to be the Astros, because when they do go over, they go way over. They're one of those teams, over in 3 of just the last 10. But again, when they do, it's far over. So I'm going to take the under on both of these. I think that 4.5, that's a little bit steep for me here. And the Mets have not been doing this. They've gone over in 5 of the last 10. So a little bit 50-50 there, but still, I think the Astros pull this out.
All right. So let's head over to prop number 7, Mets Astros total home runs 2.5. Now you're playing at, I don't know what the hell they call the stadium anymore. Minute Maid Park, whatever the shithole in Houston is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still bitter about the 2017 World Series. Now this stadium is known for home runs. Obviously, the short left porch and short right field porch. So, despite the fact that I want the under on both, I think there could be some solo home runs tonight. So I'm gonna lean towards the over here. Don't feel super confident. Doesn't exactly align with the fact that I just bet 3 unders. However, I'm gonna do it anyway. Screw it. Over 2.5 home runs.
Yes. So this will be one of the games I'm looking at to maybe do. I'm thinking some kind of home run, some kind of Smalls special here. The Mets haven't had a home run in 2 games. And they were on a stretch there where for 4 games they had at least 1. And that makes me feel like, okay, let's hand the Mets 1. So it's going to come down to the Astros and what they can do. And they've had 2 or more home runs in 3 of the last 4. Could that come to an end? Maybe. But I think there's a strong argument here for them to hit 3. And I think if it hits, it's going to be at 3.
All right. So we're both on the over here very, very slightly, but interesting. Maybe we'll put up a small special on home run props later today. Total hits, 14.5 in this game. This is where I'm going to go back to my underplay. Home runs, all we need is 3, right? And they can be solo shots, and we can still hit the under on everything. 14.5 hits. If we're betting unders on both sides, I got to take the under here too.
Yep, I have the under as well. Last 3 games, Astros are averaging almost 8 per game. Last 3, Mets are averaging 7 per. I'm going to stick with the under trend here.
Alrighty. Total runs in the first 5 innings, 4.5. Making it a little bit more complicated here with the 4.5, the first half line. I'm going to take the under here continue my trend of just taking the under across the board in this game.
Gosh, I think this one's going to be close here.
Gut call.
I am going to take the over on this one.
All right. I like it. I actually do like it. I just don't have the stones to do it. All right. Mets versus Astros. Total errors. This is the last prop for our game of the day for Daily Dozen. Total errors 1.5. This is totally a random prop. Like, I don't think there's any sort of real insider information here. You could probably go look at some defensive stats, but again, it's random, bounce the ball, whatever. I'll take the under, but who the hell knows?
Yeah. I mean, you could come up with, this is like the analytical crowd could come up with whatever they want. The Astros average more at home, under 1 in the last 3, didn't have one last game. Mets had one last game. It's all very arbitrary. So I'm going to take the over in this one, but again, it's kind of more of a gut call.
All right. 2 more props left on the board. 2 more game totals. Royals, Angels, total runs, 8.5 in Anaheim. Which way are you leaning on this one?
Royals won yesterday. They had 8 runs. It's hard for me to imagine that this goes over to 9. I'm going to lean the under, but I don't feel very confident.
All right.
I don't have a good read on this game.
This one might end up being our biggest bet. This might actually be the lock. Over 9.5. So it's gone up a full run. Over 9.5, 55% of the bets, 94% of the money, plus 39 tonight.
Wow.
Along with the fact that the Angels, 74% of the bets, 90% of the money is on them to win money line outright. However, their odds have come down from minus 180 to minus 155. So that's interesting. Regardless, we're getting total runs 8.5 here. This will be my lock of the day. We are smashing the over on Royals Angels.
You convinced me, so I'm going to switch. I'm going to change my mind here.
All right. And then prop number 12, final one. Get this in before 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Seattle versus Oakland. Total runs 7.5. What are you thinking for this last prop, Steph?
These two, I like the under here by a pretty big, this might be my lock for today. Both teams are bottom 5 in runs per game this season and bottom 2 over the last 3 games. It's just not there with either of these teams. The Mariners are allowing around just over 4 runs a game. And the Mariners had 0 runs the last 2 games, 7 hits. So I think the under is a nice play here. I have not looked at the numbers where the money is laying here, but for me, just looking at the trends and how they've both been playing, I think we'll take the under here.
All right, Seattle minus 1.5, 34% of the bets, 59% of the money. So maybe the Mariners are a good play tonight. In terms of the total, I see an 8 under 8 plus 110 right now. 30% of the bets, 27% of the money. So yeah, 70% are on the over, but it's flat. So I would take that as more public action than sharp action. I think you could go either way here. I kind of lean the under also, personally. So I'll probably end up there, but I would not consider this to be one of my best bets for the day. However, per usual, Steph and I will put out in a graphic later today our best bets for Daily Dozen, our locks. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to be playing Big Board Showdown all day.
Yes.
Hit us up. We will be on social media. If you want to jump into a draft, they're running all day. They're running basically 24/7 until the draft on Thursday. Steph and I will probably enter into about maybe 4,000 of them. So please jump in and play with us. We have a new chat feature. So go in there, come talk shit to us, whatever. We'll bring it right back to you. If you want to put some side bets on it, hit us up. Also, there's a paid version. If you want to play real money against us, bring it on. We're ready.
I love it.
All right.
It's going to be so much fun.
I cannot wait.
It makes the draft, like being able to do this for the NFL draft, just on top of it, when you're already a degenerate bettor, or you already love sports, you already love the draft, then you just get a whole nother layer with this feature. So I'm pumped. I'm glad that we were able to make it work, and it looks awesome. The chat feature is fantastic.
All right. So jump in, play with us anytime before the start of the NBA draft. We are ready to go until tomorrow's Daily Dozen. Good luck with all of your bets. And, we'll see you tomorrow morning for Daily Dozen for the Stanley Cup Finals Game 4. See you later. Peace.
See ya.